The vastness of space is something that both fascinates and terrifies us. It's hard to wrap our minds around the fact that there are billions of galaxies out there, each containing billions of stars. And even though we're just a tiny planet in a tiny solar system, we're still somehow at the center of it all. Or are we? There's actually a black hole that's much closer to Earth than you might think. And if that doesn't scare you, then prepare to have your mind blown by the sheer size of this cosmic monster. Keep watching to find out how close this black hole really is, and what will happen when it reaches Earth. But first, if you're new here, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. Also, give us a like or two while you're down there. It really helps us out. Thanks for doing that. Now let's get back to the video. Black holes are one of the most mysterious phenomena in the universe. They recreated when a star collapses in on itself and forms an infinitely dense point called a singularity. This singularity has a gravitational pull so strong that not even light can escape its grasp, hence the name black hole. Once something crosses the event horizon of a black hole, it's impossible for anything to come back out. Not even light can escape from this region. So once you cross the event horizon, you can never be seen again. One of the scariest things about black holes is their immense size. They can be hundreds or even thousands of times larger than our Sun. And although they may seem like relatively rare objects in the universe, they're actually quite common. In fact, astronomers believe that there could be as many as 100 million black holes lurking in the Milky Way alone. That means that there is a good chance that there are several black holes that are relatively close to Earth. So just how close exactly? We already mentioned that there could be up to 100 million black holes in the Milky Way. But the closest one is actually a lot closer than that. It's estimated to be around 26,000 light-years away. To put that into perspective, that's only around 84,000 trillion miles, which is about 13,000 times the distance between Earth and the Sun. So even though it may sound like a long way off, it's really just next door in astronomical terms. But wait, it gets even crazier. There's another black hole that's even closer. It's located just 1,600 light-years from Earth in the constellation of Ophiuchus, though it's much smaller than the first black hole we discussed. Still incredibly massive, weighing in at over 10 billion times the mass of our Sun. That's more than 10 times larger than the supermassive black hole at the center of our Milky Way galaxy. What's even more amazing is that this black hole was discovered relatively recently in 2019. Before that, astronomers had no idea that it was lurking so close to Earth. It's possible that there are even more black holes that are just as close. We just haven't detected them yet. With more sensitive instruments, we'll likely find even more of these cosmic monsters lurking in the shadows. So now that we know about these black holes, the question is, should we be worried? The answer is probably not. Though these black holes are technically very close to Earth, they're not really a threat to our planet. The first black hole we discussed is so far away that it's not even visible to the naked eye. Even with a telescope, it would appear no brighter than a star. The second black hole is a bit closer. It's still not a danger to Earth. It's orbiting a star that's 1,600 light-years away. And the star's gravity keeps the black hole from coming any closer. However, there is one scenario where this could become a problem. If the star that the black hole is orbiting were to explode as a supernova, the black hole would become free to roam the galaxy. This could potentially send it on a collision course with our solar system. But don't worry, this is very unlikely to happen anytime soon. Even if it did happen, we would have plenty of warning time to prepare. Let's say that the star exploded and the black hole started heading towards Earth. We would notice the supernova in the night sky and know that something big was coming. We'd also be able to see the black hole approaching as it devoured everything in its path. That's because as a black hole approaches something, it starts to spin around rapidly. This creates a huge cloud of glowing gas and dust that's visible from Earth. Once the black hole got close enough to Earth, we would start to feel its gravitational pull. This would cause the ocean tides to go crazy and the Earth's orbit to become unstable. As the black hole approached, it would also start to tear apart the solar system. It would pull the planets out of orbit and hurl them into deep space. And then finally, it would reach Earth. Once the black hole reached Earth, it would start to devour our planet. It would rip apart the Earth's atmosphere and suck everything out of the oceans until nothing but water vapor was left. Then it would move on to the next closest planet, which would be Venus. But luckily for us, even if this were to happen, we wouldn't be around to see it. That's because as the black hole approached Earth, it would eventually reach a critical point. At this point, the gravitational pull would become so strong that it would start to break apart the very fabric of space-time. This would create a huge explosion known as a Big Rip. In the Big Rip, everything around the black hole would be pulled apart at the speed of light. Our solar system, Earth, and everything we know would be ripped apart and scattered to the four winds. So even if a black hole were to come close to Earth, we wouldn't have to worry about being sucked in. It would all be vaporized in an instant. And although that might not sound like a fun way to go, at least it would be quick. Some people might say that being vaporized by a black hole would be the ultimate thrill. It would be the ultimate adventure, a chance to explore the unknown and discover what lies beyond our world. For these people, being vaporized by a black hole would be like jumping off a cliff and learning to fly. They'd be willing to risk it all to experience the unknown. On the other hand, some people might say that being vaporized by a black hole would be the ultimate nightmare. They'd be terrified of the immense power of a black hole, and the thought of being torn apart at the atomic level would be too much for them to bear. They'd do anything to avoid being vaporized by a black hole, even if it meant giving up their life. But what do you think? Would you want to be vaporized by a black hole? Or would you rather stay safe on Earth? Let us know in the comments below. We hope you enjoyed learning more about the amazing black holes that are lurking in the darkness near our planet. These cosmic monsters are truly some of the most fascinating and terrifying objects in the universe. But don't worry, you don't have to worry about being sucked into one anytime soon. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and join us next time for more videos about the amazing discoveries that scientists are making in the field of astronomy. Until then, keep looking up. There's so much more to see,